Hi guys, this week we're going to be doing an obstacle course. The challenge for you this week is to write out all the aspects that I'd like you to include, and then you've got to try and incorporate that into an obstacle course that you design. So there's going to be 5 things that I want you to include. We're going to write those down, and then I will show you a video of how I've included that into my obstacle course that I've done. So remember, when you're writing, I want you to try and stay on the line the whole way through. Try and keep your letters the same size from the start to the end. Only your capital letters are higher and bigger than the rest of your letters, and we want to have spaces between each word. So don't forget, you can use those finger spaces to make those spaces between each word so it doesn't look like one long word. And you're starting on the left and you're going all the way to the right. Remember, if you run out of space, it is okay to go on to the next line. So let's get started. Here is my list. The first thing you have to include is you have to balance something. So write that down. Balance something. So this can be balancing on a balance beam, balancing an egg on a spoon, balancing something on your head while you're walking somewhere. So include balance somehow into your obstacle course. Number 2, go over an item. Okay, so number 2 is go over an item. You can see when I've written this sentence, I've made spaces between each word. So don't forget to make those spaces. My letters are all the same size except for that G right in the start that's bigger. So think about what you can go over during your obstacle course. A toy, a chair, make something that you can climb over. So you just have to go over the item. Number 3, crawl underneath something. So crawl under an item. Crawl under an item. That can be crawling underneath the table, crawling under a chair, making something that is like a bridge and crawling underneath it. Again, use that imagination that I know you all have and find something that you can crawl under. Number 4 is you need to incorporate some kind of exercise and go around in a circle. So you need to use exercise it's going to be a long sentence while moving around okay, I'll hold this up for a little bit longer. So use exercise while moving around something. Let me fix that D. There we go. So think of all the exercise that Mr. Brown does with you, okay? Skipping, hopping, jumping, tiptoeing, high knees, walking backwards. Use some kind of exercise while you're moving around an item. Okay, number 5 is move through a space. So this is going to be something to think about. Number 5, move through a space. Think about what you're going to walk through every day. You might be walking through a door. You might walk through a cobweb. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But maybe even make something that you can walk through. I will use my example. You can see my example on my next video, and maybe you guys want to make the same thing. It's gonna be fun and exciting to make, and then you guys can be creative. Maybe you'll come up with something else to move through. So I'll put these up for you all to read on your Google Classroom. So that if you I didn't give you enough time to write them down during this video, you'll have some time to write them down before you actually make your obstacle course. So we're done with this. Go on to the next video and you can see my obstacle course that I made.